Hello, in this video I'm showing you an endgame which was played in US Championship round 4, and here black was to move and he made a mistake and played rook b8. But before we continue with this game, let me first tell you about this position. Black has a lack of space and his king is very weak, very passive on d8. His bishop is also undeveloped, so black has to be careful not to imprison this bishop on c8. He had to develop it somehow or exchange it. First, let's check what happens if black goes for one natural bishop b7. In case of bishop b7, white would go rook b1. And if black tries to go to c6, then white is simply going to play rook b6, double on the b file, and for example, if black captures on a4, he just doubles, and if king c8 to prevent rook b8, white has bishop a6, and it is over, because if black captures, it's a checkmate. Also, if after rook a b1 he plays rook b8, again, white doubles on the b file, or simply plays bishop e4, or bishop a6, even better. And if king c8, then white just goes rook c1 and black is losing a bishop after the next move. So bishop b7 is not so good because it doesn't solve the issue of the king. It solves the problem of the bishop, but not entirely of the black king. Instead, he should have played bishop a6 to offer an exchange, and in case of exchange occurred and rook a b1, black would go king c8, and in case of this check, he would cover on c6, and now the d6 pawn would be a liability, a weakness, and this position should be equal, because also a5 is weak in black's camp, so it would kind of neutralize each other. Instead of giving a check on c1, in this position he should have played rook bd1, and there's also an interesting idea here, which is this: h5 with rook h6, a nice rook lift which allows attack on d6. But instead of all of this, and also I want to mention this variation. If black offers a trade of rooks, it doesn't help black, because it simply exchanges and goes rook e1, king f8, and now he goes rook b1. And the bishop cannot go out, because if bishop a6 you simply take, and because of the weak last rank you cannot capture back. And if he goes back, then white has bishop b4, and after the rook moves, rook b8, king d8, and king simply enters the stage, enters the center, and rook cannot move, because if he moves, then bishop b7 is deadly. If the king moves, rook takes bishop, so his only moves are with the pawn on the king side. And white is just going to wait for black to spend all the tempi with pawns, and once he's done, he has to move either a king or a rook, which I told before is not good for black. In the game, Jeffery Xiong played rook b8. which is a big mistake because as we will see later on, it leaves the bishop inactive. It cannot get out of this c8 square. White offers a trade because he wants to eliminate the defender of the queen side. If black takes on b1, white just takes, and on rook e8, simply king f1, and if rook e6, rook b6, and as you can see, black is completely tied down, and white can slowly improve his position on the king side and activate his king. So he plays for rook b7. He tries to provoke the exchange of rooks with the benefit of developing the bishop. But here white just waits. He plays rook ec1, and now black plays rook b4. If he took on b1 now, like I said before, this is the same variation, more or less. Rook e8, king f1, rook e6, rook b6, and now let's say rook e5. If he doesn't do that, if he moves only his pawns on the king side, white can wait, and after a couple of more moves, black is getting into a Zugzwang, because if he moves the king on e8, white goes rook b8, and when he goes back, bishop b7, pinning the bishop. And if when he goes to f4, let's say, bishop e4 to stop any counterplay, rook f6, and now king enters the central squares. And now you completely cut off all the squares from black's rook, after which you'll be able to even do this. Instead of all of this, black played rook b4, which now creates a passed pawn on the a file, and now it's very soon over, because even if black tries rook e8, white is simply pushing this pawn, and after rook e5, rook a1, the a pawn is supported, and that's it. Black has to give up this bishop, and it's a very easy win for white. Instead, he plays bishop b7. White pushes his a pawn, bishop a8, and after a7, a big threat is bishop a6 with rook c8 with a mate, and this is the position in which Jeffery Xiong resigned. Thanks for watching, and have a good day. Bye.